Hi everyone, and welcome to the Chrissy Show, the UK's only programme dedicated to mental health and well-being. So today we have an interview with Linda Rama, an economist and advocate for women's rights and the wife of the Prime Minister of Albania. And this interview comes courtesy of Global Woman Club. Now Linda will be telling us how she views difficulties and also how she sees perfection. Then we go to Psychology Matters with Dr Audrey Tang, talking about how we can use hardships for growth and also how parents can actually achieve a healthy balance between helping their children but also letting them learn from their own mistakes. And as you'll know, we love to encourage you, our viewers, to try new things. So I had a go at something I've never done before, and that's cheese making at Wild's Cheese. We also have our nutritionist Hannah Richards with a healthy recipe, and news correspondent Helena Chard brings your positive reports in this week's A Helping of Happy. And then it's our workout of the week with Kasie and Dr Hicks will be answering your medical questions. So let's first take a look at the interview with Linda Rama, interviewed here by Connie Lee Bennett.
Well, hi everyone, I am Connie Lee Bennett, and it's my true delight and honor to be sitting here with Linda Rama, who is an economist, an advocate for women's rights, and the wife of the Prime Minister of Albania. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
Linda, I think that I'm hearing you have an amazing vision and gift to share with the world and with your country. I'd like to ask you some questions about core values, because I remember a defining moment when we were having dinner a year ago in Albania, and I remember you coming up to the table and you looked into my eyes and you said, "Hi, how are you?" And I thought to myself, wow, this woman has a heart of connection. But I'd love to know, what is your core value for why this is something that's so deep on your heart? Is it connection? Where does that come from?
And it comes from basically from all the values that you take initially from the family, and then from whatever experience you had throughout your life and the way you have lived your life. I belong to the generation of women that half of the story I have during the communist time, so all the university schooling and university life, and the first job belonged to that period, and half is during transition. Both periods have been very difficult periods, but on the other hand, I feel like I am living a very special time in the Albanian history. Whenever you have difficult times ahead, you have huge opportunities to grow up and to contribute. And I think that I have taken all the opportunities to grow up myself and to contribute. And you know what? I think that one of the huge challenges has been while I was becoming public figure because of my husband, that was the mayor of Tirana and then the leader of the biggest political party and then the Prime Minister of Albania. And the biggest challenge is to keep Linda as she is. And I think that this is an everyday work. And this is an everyday effort, but I think that is a valuable one because it makes you somehow be yourself and do your own contribution to all the dimensions possible.
Would you say that that's your advice to all the ladies and of course gentlemen watching us today, is every day making sure you keep connected to Linda, you keep connected to Connie, you keep connected to who you are, and then you contribute? Would you say that those are the two important steps for us to take every day?
Yes, of course. I think that every day I think that it's very valuable to keep connected with people, whoever these people are. Each of them do have a power on himself. And each of them do have something to tell you and to teach you. And I have used all this opportunity and I still use this every day. And of course, what I can say from my life is that women need to dare, because only by daring and only by leaving footprints they can ensure that other women can follow easier than you in the paths of life, and the world doing that will become much more better for our children compared to the world that we lived. I'm not against perfection myself. I am very much in favor of it. But of course, perfection is not something that you can reach without thinking that every day you learn something, and every day you fail on something, and because of failure you still learn. And of course, the merit is not to fail. The merit is how you can start after you fail, and where you go from this point. But of course, from the lessons of my life, what I can say is that women need to dare more and to not hesitate to dream first. They should follow their dreams, because I believe that whatever we see at the moment, we need to have the hope that these dreams can come true, for sure. You just need to find the right path. You just need to find on yourself the right energy so that you can use that for a good purpose, for a good will, for a dream that is a good dream, not only for yourself, but also for the others.
Well, there we have it. Thank you so much. All of you listening and watching, thank you for joining us. It's been an honor. What is your dream? Be courageous, step into it, and remember, it's about your daily growth that inspires people. Thank you so much for joining us, Linda.
The honor is mine, fully mine.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to Global Woman Club for that interview. And if you'd like to know more about them, do visit globalwomanmagazine.com. So now it's time to speak to our resident psychologist, Dr Audrey Tang. Hello, Audrey.
Hello, thanks for having me, Chrissy.
It's lovely to have you on.
Thank you.
So, Audrey, can we learn from hardships?
We can indeed, and a good balance of failures and successes often makes us stronger. And it's important to recognise the difference between being strong and being impermeable. Impermeable, you don't let anyone in, don't let anything get to you. Strength allows you to be vulnerable, it allows you to be flexible, and it allows you to grow. And therefore it is important to be able to hold the pain of a failure, to hold the pain of experiences that may have hurt us, may have upset us, in order to know that we can overcome them and that we've got the tools inside us in order to be able to get through, because those tools will also serve us well next time. So we can learn a lot from hardships, but if we have too many hardships, unfortunately we can get into a situation which psychologists have called a very long time ago learned helplessness. Now, learned helplessness is when we believe that no matter what we do, nothing's going to go right, nothing is going to change, and so we learn to just do nothing at all. We just learn to give up. And it's only through support, patience, consistency, love, that is what will actually help change. But sometimes when we're in certain situations, all we can try and do is survive. And so for some people, we actually need to take it back a little bit further and get to the root of what the problem is before we can help someone grow.
Okay, because a lot of people do kind of like just stop trying, like you said, if they do face a difficulty, and like you said, if it's just too many things, it's very hard to kind of come out on top again. But why is it that some people do and some people don't?
Well, some people have what they call an internal locus of control, some people have an external one. The idea is if you have an internal locus, it kind of means you feel more in control of things. What you do makes a difference, and if you have an external approach to life, you may believe that what you do is in the hands of fate and therefore it kind of doesn't matter. However, sometimes it can just be simply the culture we've been brought up in. If, as a child, we've never learned that anything we do has a control over the world, or that we have mastery over anything, then we simply learn not to try. We simply learn that it doesn't matter what I do, no one's going to come and help me, or no one will pick up my toy, or it makes no difference whatsoever. And that's a really sad place to be, because so often when we talk about supporting adults, we tend to talk about them as, oh, we don't like arrogant people, we don't like people who are really full of themselves. But actually not having a sense of self is as bad. And that can happen when somebody has just been through so many destructive, chaotic experiences that they're not able to think, you know what, I can do something about it, because everything they've tried hasn't actually made a difference. So sometimes it's just really important to recognise that whilst we can say to people who maybe have just been through a couple of bad times, it's okay, own your narrative and write your next chapter and all of those positive motivational things, for others it may be a case of saying, well, things were really absolutely horrible and you had to learn to survive first. And now that you are surviving, then we can teach you the tools to grow.
Good. And just a bit of advice for the parents now, because obviously how do they find the balance between helping their children but also letting them make their own mistakes and learning from them?
Absolutely. This is a tough balance to strike. And be mindful of your own behaviours. That's the first thing. Because you cannot say to a child, oh, it's okay, it's important to just try or take part if you're not doing it yourself. Just as an example, so often we say to children, you must read, and then you ask the parents, what are you reading? I'm not reading anything. How can we actually teach a child if we're not embedding it in ourselves? So be mindful of our own behaviours. It's important to be proud of trying, be proud of when somebody's put the effort in, as well as being proud of success. I have to admit, I'm not one of those people who thinks it's important to give every single person a medal, because life doesn't work that way. And also, we need to recognise people who have got that exceptional talent or have worked exceptionally hard, because it shows other people that you can work and achieve. So it is important to recognise those things.
It reminds me of something that happened. Actually, I was in a cafe once and this little girl walked out of the toilet with her mum, announces to the whole cafe, "Daddy, I did a poo!" Like, really loud, and everyone on the table sort of clapping, and I'm thinking, well, okay, it's cute, but if you're going to teach the child that it's such a massive thing and this great thing that you've done a poo, which everyone does, she's kind of going to get a bit like,
what's going to stand out after that? What's she going to expect?
She's going to think if she doesn't get a congratulations for every little thing she does. I thought it was quite funny, but I was like, oh my goodness.
And that is part of the balance. It's knowing what you're teaching your child when you respond to them in certain ways, and children are very quick to learn. But with that, also, it is important to validate children, even if it is over something that we think is a little bit odd. But it might be something where a child comes up to you and says, oh, I'm really struggling with this, and you actually see them as being good at it. Don't dismiss them by saying, oh, but you're so great at it. Ask them questions around it, because that could be shielding something else.
Yeah, definitely. Audrey, thank you so much, my darling. We'll see you again next time.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody, so as you know, we like to encourage our viewers to try new things. So I had to go at something I'd never done before, which was cheese making at Wild's Cheese. So let's take a look after this break. Welcome back to today's Chrissy B Show, everybody. So, as you know, we love to encourage you, our viewers, to try new things. So I had to go at something I'd never done before, which was cheese making at Wild's Cheese. Let's take a look. Hi everyone, today I'm here at Wild's Cheese and I'm here with one of the founders. This is Philip Wilton, everyone. I'm so excited to be here.
Lovely, we're excited to have you.
I've never made cheese before.
Good.
My mother has, family members have. I've been the naughty one, so now it's time for me to learn.
How brilliant is that?
But just before we begin, can you tell us how Wild Cheese came about?
Wild Cheese came about 6 years ago. I used to have what I described as a proper job. And then I got made redundant from that proper job. And although at the time it was the worst thing ever, since then it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. Keith, my partner, and I decided that we wanted to do something where you had an end result.
And how has it been these last few years doing something like this for yourself? And
we've loved it. We have absolutely. It's been hard work. Don't get me wrong. Working for yourself is very different, but it's been brilliant. We've loved it.
Yeah. Now I was thinking that cheese making is quite a complicated process, but actually, it's not so bad, is it?
Well, I think everything's complicated until you can do it. There's, making rockets and going to the moon is complicated until you can do it, and then it ain't that hard, is it?
Okay.
And cheese making is a bit like that. It's really complicated until you understand what's going on,
Yeah.
And you get more and more used to it, more and more confident in it. And then it becomes easy, and then it all goes wrong. Yeah? And all that cheese
It's not going to go wrong today.
It's not going wrong today. I
It's going to be amazing.
promise you, not wrong
All
today.
right. So
Because
shall we get started?
you're in control.
Yes.
Do you want to start this party? Let's start this party. So what we're going to do, we're going to start you all the way from cold milk.
Wonderful.
All the way, and by the end of this, we'll be eating some halloumi. How's that sound?
We're going to be eating halloumi.
I know, it's hard,
Cheese
isn't it?
from my homeland.
It's a hard life that we lead here at Wild's Cheese, isn't it? So what we have here is 11 litres of cow's milk. The
Okay.
cow's milk is pasteurised, but it's unhomogenised, and it all comes from a single herd of cows.
Okay.
So what we're trying to do, we're trying to heat this milk up to 32 degrees. So your job over the next 5 minutes is to take its temperature.
Okay. It's kind of coming up to 20 at the moment.
Yeah. So we've now got about 5 minutes whilst this temperature raises.
So, Philip, there's actually a reason why you set up this company in Tottenham.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Well, I was made redundant roughly about 6 months before the Tottenham riots happened. And Keith and myself decided that we wanted to set up a business. But just as important to us was to set up here in Tottenham. Tottenham had a terrible reputation, I don't know if you know, but absolutely shocking reputation. And we refused to leave. So we set up our own business here. We employ most of our staff. Daniel is from Tottenham, Maya's from Tottenham, James is from just down the road from Hackney.
Yeah.
We live in Tottenham. We're here because we want to be here. It's not an accident we're here.
That's good.
We quite often have a lot of kids come in and do a bit of work experience. So we support some of the local charities as well.
Amazing.
To do that. You know, we get a lot of kids come in and just do a couple of days with us.
That's so lovely.
Some of them stay. Some of them we don't let leave, do we, Daniel?
You kept Daniel.
We kept Daniel. We thought he'll do.
Are we there, Philip?
Yeah, we're there, Daniel.
We're ready to start. Well, we did start, but now we're ready to continue.
So, what I've got here for you in this cup is something called mother or culture.
Okay.
Or it's just a mix of bacteria, molds, yeast, things like that. This is a mix that makes really good halloumi.
So just this tiny amount for this
For that whole
big
pot.
pot of milk. Wow, okay.
So, scoop out some milk in the cup. Just dissolve the culture in. Okay. Then what we're going to add is some rennet.
Rennet, okay. And what type of rennet is it? And what is rennet?
Right, rennet is just a coagulant. All rennet does is it thickens the milk. It turns it from milk into like a jelly.
Okay.
We use a vegetarian rennet. So what I want you to do, I want you to draw 3 ml of rennet.
Okay.
You got it?
All right, yep.
So up to the 3, can you see that?
Yeah.
Lovely. Then what we're going to do, we're going to squirt it into this mix. Lovely. A quick stir. And then what I'd like you to do is stir it into your pot of milk. That's it. Ooh. This is the magic.
Thick, isn't it? Look, it's already gone like.
Yeah, it's going thick already.
Do you have to do this, stir this quickly, or is this all right?
Get it in. That's it.
All right. Okay.
So what we're going to do, we're just going to leave that to party on its own.
Okay.
So
All
we
right.
whip that out.
There you
This
go.
is a bit like bread making. Okay, so what's happening now is what's called ripening. Your milk is ripening, the bacteria are growing, the flavour's going, the rennet will thicken it. We just need to give that a few minutes for that to happen.
Okay. Cool. So we've just had a bit of a break, and myself and the crew have been stuffing our faces with cheese. I have to say, absolutely amazing. It was lovely. And Philip, you actually call your cheese quite interesting names, don't you?
Yeah, we kind of name them after local areas in and around Haringey, Tottenham. So, for example, we've got a cheese called the Alexandra, which is after Alexandra Palace. Something called the St Bruce after Bruce Grove. That kind of High Cross after the church in central Tottenham. So we've got lots and lots of names, but they're all local.
Well, the cheese is absolutely delicious,
Good,
I have to
I'm
say.
glad.
That's what we were doing during our break while this was setting, would you
eating
say?
me out of
Setting?
house and home, yeah?
Sorry. All right, so what's next then, Philip?
So what we're going to do, do you remember we put culture in and we put rennet into this milk? And when we stopped doing it, the last time we looked at it, it was just milk. Now it is curd. It is curd and whey.
Curds
and
and whey.
This is the exciting part. So
Let's
what you're
see.
going to do, I'm going to take the lid off. Get you enough, you're going to cut the curds, all right?
Right, okay.
So you're going to all the way to the bottom, roughly centimetre squares.
Okay, so I just start.
Just
Yep.
slice it.
Okay,
So
start from the middle or anywhere?
Well, whatever's easy goes.
Okay, I'll just do it quickly.
Not particularly, but I'm going to do it.
Okay. Okay. And one more, I think.
Good, lovely. Then what I want you to do, I want you to stir it gently. You're not trying to break it up, you're just
Okay.
going to stir it up. So what we do now, we're going to let this, we're going to heat it up now to 42 degrees.
Oh, okay.
So it's another thermometer job. The other way around, darling. Just trying to be helpful there. Oh, for God's sake.
I had it the right way.
You didn't, you daft.
Okay. You just turned it over again. All right. So I'll just do it now.
Now we're going to separate the curds and the whey.
Okay.
Curds are the solid, whey is the liquid. We've gone through the colander, so the curds will be caught in the colander and the whey will be caught in the
Right.
bucket.
Okay.
And we're just going to do it nice and simple. We're just going to take that and we're going to... I'm going to leave the rest because you've caught it a little bit on the bottom. Do you see where,
Okay. Yeah.
you see where you burnt that,
I
darling?
did. I burnt
That's
it.
where you were too busy eating cheese.
That's when I was too busy eating cheese and I wasn't. So that wasn't.
She wasn't paying attention.
Sorry.
So what we're going to do, we're going to put the whey back into the pot. We're going to get this nice and hot and we're going to poach this.
This is fun. Don't want to splash your walls.
So you're going to fill that whole mould.
Shall I take more water out?
Alright, so then the idea, like the first one is quite difficult. We're going to try to flip this.
Okay.
So into the hand, you don't have long.
Oh.
Just slowly lose its shape while it
Okay.
comes out.
Yeah. See.
You
And
wanna
then you
get back
do it
in.
again.
That's it.
Oh, can I try the next one?
Go ahead.
Cool.
Go for it. So into the fat of your hand, turn it over. Quickly. No. Flip it over.
I did the knife.
No, you just put it back in.
Nearly there.
Nearly there, darling. Half of it's there. We just need the other half. Flip it onto your hand now.
Yeah. Okay.
Put the mould down.
Yeah.
That's it. Now,
Oh.
that's it. Now put it in before you break it up. There
Okay.
you go. So we've raised this whey to about 80, the mid-80s degrees, okay? The reason we do that is we're going to poach your bit of cheese. The reason we poach this is it increases the melting temperature so that when you put it in a pan, it doesn't just melt. It's got to get really hot before it melts.
Yeah. Which is the magic of halloumi.
It's the
isn't it?
magic of halloumi that it browns.
Yeah. And it doesn't melt.
It don't melt. It's not
Yeah.
like putting a lump of cheddar in a
Yeah.
hot pan. So what we're going to do, we're going to slip that into there. So you're going to take that out onto your hand and then you're going to gently slip it into, that's it, just gently, careful that whey is very hot.
Okay.
So just gently slip it in. There, oh, lovely. Now what we're going to do, we're just going to wait a couple of minutes whilst this warms through.
Okay.
When it's ready, it will come to the top.
Oh. There it is.
There he is.
It
There.
popped out. Oh, it's gone again.
It's gone again. We're going to get you a spoon
Okay.
so we can fish that out.
So what we're going to do with this cheese, we're going to put quite a generous amount, like a decent pinch on the top and massage it in. It's a little bit hot, but it should cool down enough. And then the same on the other side. Generous amount. So the mint only goes on one side.
Oh, really?
Lovely. And now the last bit, and this is the final step of the whole process. Imagine this like a semicircle. We're going to fold it onto itself.
Like a sandwich.
Yeah.
Lovely, well done. Now we're going to cook it.
Now we're going to cook it. So everybody at home, we're just going to fry a bit of this halloumi we've just made. So just putting a bit of olive oil into a hot pan. And now we're going to slice this lovely, honestly, it's delicious already, even without, frying it. But Nice sizzle. Okay, it's ready. Don't want to break it. It's quite soft.
Right, who wants some? No, okay, never mind. How is it?
Oh my god. Honestly, hands down, best halloumi I've tasted. Sorry, Mum and Grandma and Auntie in Cyprus. It's lovely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for coming to see us.
Go back to the
It's been
studio.
a pleasure.
I'll just be here for a bit.
Yep, you just finished that off.
Thank you very much to the team at Wild's Cheese there. So after the break, we have our news correspondent Helena Chard bringing you positive reports in this week's A Helping of Happy, and nutritionist Hannah Richards is here with a healthy recipe. Hi, I'm Chrissy B, host of the UK's only TV programme dedicated to mental health and well-being, The Chrissy B Show, which airs on MyTV Sky 191 every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Follow our social media on YouTube, Instagram and Twitter at Chrissy B Show and our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. For more information, visit chrissybshow.tv. Welcome back to today's Chrissy B Show, everybody. So as you know, we love to talk about news on this program, but not any kind of news, positive news. Even if the news kind of is a bit negative, I would say, but we always have a positive spin on it. And our Helena Chard here is excellent at finding those stories for us. Welcome to the show, Helena.
Hi, Chrissy.
How are you?
Thank you. I'm good, thank you. I'm really good. So I'm going to start up with Stand Up to Cancer. It's running at the moment and it's brilliant. So it's a collaboration with Channel 4 and Cancer UK, Cancer Research UK. And it's about raising money, obviously, for life-saving cancer research, which is fabulous. And there's a new thing called Sink or Swim, which is they're filming at the minute, which I think is incredible. It's actually involving roughly 10 celebrities, all different people, Linford Christie, Alex Brooker, so there's like presenters, ex-sports people, and they're all frightened of water, and they've all had sort of life experiences where they've nearly drowned and things like that, and they can't even get into local swimming baths, and they're going through some training over a period of weeks. And it's going to be a monumental challenge of swimming the channel. Now, I don't know about you, I can swim, but the thought of swimming the channel is really
crazy.
And they're petrified, these people.
Of course.
But it's all in, because they've all nearly drowned. So it's all in the name of, raising money, and it's absolutely fantastic.
I suppose you've got that goal at the end of it, it's going to help someone.
No, absolutely. And 1 in 2 of us will get cancer, so it's all about fighting back. But interestingly as well, just moving on, 1 in 5 British adults are unable to swim, which I think is quite high.
That is high.
1 in 5, and also 1 in 3 children leave school without learning the life-saving skill, which again I think is really high. So it's something to bear in mind.
We used to learn at school, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. I don't know. Strange. So bake your way to happiness. Now we hear it all the time. Yay, foodies! So Dominique is a disillusioned 30-year-old project manager in London, and she decided to just set up Sunday Baking Club, and now she's got thousands and thousands of followers that all join in, and it's a way of making friends. People just collaborate, and people that want to cook and are a little bit nervous, everyone's like turning into these amazing bakers. And it's more about finding community and supportive people to love and to bake with. And it just goes to show, if you've got this great idea that's going to do good, just do it. Don't sit around and wonder what, should I not? Because she's proof in the pudding, which is lovely. And proof in and also moving on to Nadia Hussain, I know we haven't got too much time left, but she won Great British Bake Off in 2015. Now she is a fab person, I think. British TV chef, author, television presenter. She has talked about her serious anxiety that she has and PTSD, which evolved at school. Won't go into it too much, but she wondered for a while why she was in the public eye and various things, but now she just realises that she's got this job she loves, and she's out there representing her culture, women, housewives, first generation immigrants, and she always wanted someone that could represent her, or someone who looked like her on TV, but she didn't associate with anyone. But now she's that person to everyone else, which is really exciting. So it's an absolute privilege to her to be who she is today, and we do love her for it.
Nice. Helena, thank you, my darling.
Thank you, Chrissy.
See you again next week.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Okay, everybody, so now it's time to go to Hannah Richards with a healthy recipe. Welcome to the show, Hannah.
Hi, Chrissy, how are you?
I'm very well, how are you?
Very well.
So lots of lovely ingredients we have on this table. What are you making and why?
Well, I thought I'd call it end of the summer salad. Some of these things, some of the fruits and vegetables are going out of season.
Okay.
And they're some of my favourite things all put together.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd show you what they are.
Definitely, let's take it away.
Okay, so all salads need a good base of something green, because that's one of the digestive rules, which is always have something green on your plate. So spinach is a great leaf, and we're just going to rip it up so it's nice and small. Some people get a bit scared of greens, don't they? How are you on greens?
Oh, I love greens.
Yeah.
Can I just ask a question about spinach? Because I heard that you get more vitamins out of spinach when you just cook it a little bit. Is that true, than eating it completely raw?
Yeah, so it's about the absorption rates. So sometimes people are a bit deficient in enzymes in their body, and it's the enzymes that help break down the food. So raw foods, although they're supposed to be, their life force is really great, if you don't have the mechanics in your body to break it down, then it's harder work. So when they're a bit steamed or cooked, it's a bit easier to get access to.
All right, interesting.
But yes, green, so something like spinach, for example, is going to provide you with all your minerals and vitamins more than lots of other foods. Sometimes more than taking a supplement. But this spinach, for example, is full of magnesium, which depletes when we're stressed. And so it's really important to make sure you get your greens in your diet.
I love spinach, I love everything green.
So now we're going to get our hands dirty as usual.
You can get your hands dirty, I've got to show,
Not with turmeric, though.
No, thank goodness.
So these are beetroots, and beetroots are great for your kidneys. They're good detoxifiers of the kidneys, and your kidneys are like little workhorses of the body. So we're just going to grate a beetroot. And they're full of enzymes as well. All foods have got loads of enzymes in them. There we go. And they smell a bit earthy.
That's a good sign, isn't it?
That's a good sign, but I'm just gonna take one for the team and get my hands dirty.
Okay.
They're normally.
Nice and tissue.
Thank you. How do you do your beetroots at home, Chrissy?
To be honest, I normally just buy them cooked already.
Yeah.
And I slice them, and then I put a bit of olive oil, a bit of balsamic vinegar or apple cider vinegar, and a bit of salt.
Yeah.
A bit of garlic.
Lovely.
Done.
And you can roast them as well yourself.
Yeah.
I got purple on me now.
A little bit. Spray myself.
Yeah,
the reason why we wore black today.
You can roast them in the oven.
Yeah.
And you can juice them, and you get all the nutrients and vitamins out if you juice them as well. But today we're just grating them. And the great thing about beetroot is the colour.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot beat that colour, can you?
No, not at all.
There we go. So I think that'll do.
Yeah. It's always an adventure with Hannah when she comes on, isn't it? Do you need the chopping board in, or should we take the chopping board out of the way?
I think, we can take the beetroot out of the way. We're done with those guys
now.
now.
You don't need the grater
you can leave them. No, you can take that as well.
Okie dokie. Let's put this under here.
Great. So we've got our beetroot and we've got our spinach. Now we're going to put in our watermelon. And watermelon, I don't know, we've probably overdone watermelon in the summer. It's a great fruit.
It's lovely though, isn't it? I don't get fed up of it.
Absolutely. It's a thirst quencher. It's a snack. You can have it with meat. And we're going to have it with feta. Have you ever had it with feta?
Yes, I have, and I love it.
Ooh, and a bit of honey. We're going to glaze.
Ooh.
We're going to drizzle a bit of honey over it as well. So in goes the watermelon. Little bits like that.
I've never had watermelon and beetroot though. I have to say.
And to top it off with, we're going to add...
The bowl's big enough, Hannah.
I know. So this is a really potent antioxidant mix as well. And when you make sure, you know, all these colours in here, they're full of polyphenols, antioxidants, vitamins, minerals. So it's sort of it's like taking a supplement, a multivitamin, but a superhero of multivits when you have all these different ingredients. Okay, so Chrissy, I'm going to ask you to just give that a stir with that lovely spoon there.
Okay.
And if you just pass me that other little bowl, we are going to make it a bit of a dressing. So just take some olive oil. Make sure your olive oil is in a glass jar, about 3 tablespoons. Then take a balsamic vinegar as well. You could use white wine vinegar or red wine vinegar, but we want the sweetness from the balsamic to accompany the sugars from the watermelon and from the strawberries. And then we're just going to add a little bit of honey.
Just a tad.
Just a tad. There we go. What was that?
Strawberry.
If this recipe doesn't work, it's because Chrissy ate strawberry.
It's very difficult for me to have fruit next to me and not nibble.
I know. So I'm just going to dip my finger in to taste it. Yeah, that needs a little bit more balsamic.
This is looking nice and vibrant and...
Look at that. It's like a winter forest salad.
It's lovely.
Isn't it? Okay. And then you're just going to drizzle over the top.
Nom, nom, nom.
Nom, nom, nom. Ooh. Getting hungry?
Simple, yes.
And then, Chrissy, we're going to put a little bit of sea salt. Make sure it's sea salt, guys, not table salt. And then the creme de la creme, a little bit of feta, and I'm going to get my hands dirty again. And I'm going to crumble it on top. You could use goat's cheese, but I really think feta...
Just the way it crumbles, isn't it? And stuff.
A really good Greek feta works beautifully. And there you go.
Gorgeous.
End of the summer salad.
I shall try it a bit later or during the break because I'm going to make a mess, basically.
That's true. And then you'll have purple all over
Yes, and then beer all over your face like you.
I know, if I got purple
a little bit, yeah. Just a little bit. Thank you so much.
Pleasure, enjoy.
And see you again next time.
Absolutely, will do.
Thank you. So everybody, after the break, we have our workout of the week with Kasie Ibe, and Dr. Hicks will be answering your medical questions, including this one. I would like to help my 9-year-old son lose weight. Is there anything available free on the NHS that can help? Find out the answer after this break. Welcome back to today's Chrissy B Show, everybody. So now it's time for our workout of the week with fitness expert Kasie Ibe.
Hi guys, I'm Kasie Ibe. Today we're going to be going through some basic upper body exercises which will target your shoulders, arms, back, chest and your core. Okay, if you have any injuries in those places, make sure you're aware of your limitations. So, first exercise we're going to do is a press up. Okay, so we go down into a press up position, arms shoulder width apart. Try and keep your body in a straight line. So we're going to go all the way down, all the way up. Good. Okay, so we're going to continue this for 10 to 12 reps. Once you've done your 10 to 12, we're going to go into a variation of it. So exact same position, arms shoulder width apart again, body nice and straight. So we're going to go down, up, right hand comes across, left hand comes across. And we're going to repeat that 10 times. Good. Again, 10 to 12 times, we're going to repeat that. Once you've done 10 to 12, we're going to make a variation to that again. So again, shoulders in line with your hands, arms shoulder width apart. You're going to cross over to the right side, using your obliques, cross over to the left side, down on your way up, clap, and repeat. Across, across, down, clap, Repeat that 10 to 12 times. Probably try and aim for 2 to 3 sets of that with a minute rest in between. Thank you guys, I'm Kasie. I hope you've enjoyed your exercise and I'll see you next time.
Thank you very much to Kasie there. So now it's time for Doctor's Answers with Rob Hicks. Hello, Rob.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
We've got some questions for you from the viewers.
I hope so.
First one. Right. I decided to take part in the Couch to 5K challenge and have been doing pretty well. However, I checked my heart rate and during I would say was a moderate run, my heart rate was 199. However, I felt fine and could have gone faster. Is this normal? It happened again a couple of days later. I'm a 46-year-old female.
Well, first of all, well done for doing this the Couch to 5K program. You know, I'm a great supporter of this. It's a very, very nice way of literally getting off the couch, doing some activity and showing yourself that you can run, you know, for 30 minutes. It takes about 9 weeks to do it. And I'm, as I said, I think it's a fabulous idea. And I've actually just started doing it again because I've enjoyed it on a couple of occasions when I've done it before. And I'm not a great fan of running, but I do love doing this program. So it gets me out and about in the fresh air, for example. With regards to the heart rate, so long as when you checked your heart, you weren't getting other symptoms like chest pain, shortness of breath, lightheadedness, then it's probably normal. It's probably that actually you were just overdoing it a little bit. So if you should find that that's the case, then that could potentially put a strain on your heart. So what you want to do is just slow down a bit and not push yourself so hard. When you're thinking about heart rate around exercise, our maximum heart rate during exercise should be 220 minus our age. So you said you were 46, which means quick calculation, maximum rate is 174. When you're exercising, to get the most out of exercise, you need to be exercising at somewhere between 50% and 85% of your maximum. So again, doing some mental arithmetic, you're going to be somewhere around about 88 to 149 is your range. When you're starting off in exercise, it's a good idea just to exercise at the lower end of that range, so at the 50% range, so that you get time to get used to the exercise and to build up. I think the other thing to think about is, you know, if you're doing your pulse rate and you're counting it and it's just short of 200, then do it a couple of times just to make sure that was the correct figure. And if you're using any electronic device to do it, just make sure that that's working properly, because sometimes we have that in practice where somebody has measured their blood pressure using a device, but actually the device needs charging or something, and so it wasn't reading correctly. But keep up with the Couch to 5K. What I would say to you though is if you are concerned or you're getting any sort of symptoms along with the fast heart rate, particularly things like an irregular heart rate or heart palpitations, have a checkup with your doctor. But keep going, hand on heart. It's a fabulous thing to do.
Okay, Robin, one more question. I would like to help my 9-year-old son lose weight. Is there anything available free on the NHS to help, such as exercise classes, group sessions, etc.? I'm a single mum on a low income.
Yeah, there's a couple of things actually that's available. So one is straightforward advice from your GP, your practice nurse, or a dietitian. The other thing is a program called Change for Life, where you sign up online. It's run by the NHS, and they will send you regular emails that have healthy eating tips. They have simple, healthy, fun recipes that people can do. They have ideas for fun activities to encourage children to be active. And they sometimes have special offers as well, and other things as well on the site that's sent to you. And actually it's focused on the family. And one of the things, particularly with a 9-year-old, is you don't want to single them out as having to have a special meal, etc. So it usually works well if everybody is doing the same thing. And actually the benefit long term is that everybody eats healthily. They all keep active. But your bonus is that actually you're helping the 9-year-old.
That's really good.
What I would say to you definitely is that you first of all take your 9-year-old along to your doctor or practice nurse. Get him weighed and measured, etc., to find out just exactly how how much weight he needs to lose, and then you can get some good advice on how to reduce calories, how to increase the amount of activity that he does. And one of the things is to try and get him to be more active than lying on the couch on a tablet or using a phone or in front of a computer game, just to be up and about. And as I said, if you can encourage that for yourselves as well, then it'll make it easier for him. So it's simple things, maybe get off the bus one stop earlier, maybe walk into the shops rather than taking the car or taking the bus if possible. When going to school, if it's possible, to walk there or to ride a bike, and to involve him in sort of give him some chores, age-appropriate chores to do. So it might be taking the dirty laundry to the washing machine. It might be setting the dinner table or clearing the dinner table. It might be actually letting him vacuum the living room, that sort of thing. All that sort of activity counts. It is very, very important that you set a good example. So you'll need to be doing this, and other members of the family will be needed to do, keeping active as well and eating healthily. So keep meal portions relatively small. It's a mistake that often people make is they say to the children, finish everything that's on your plate. Yeah. And what children do is they know when they're full and they'll naturally stop. So rather than encouraging somebody to make sure the plate is empty, actually if they stop, that's it. The other thing you can do is actually start off giving smaller portions, because he will let you know if he's hungry once he has finished everything that's on the plate as well. So small child portions, healthy eating, lots of activity, ideally at least 60 minutes a day, and during the day, more if he's able. And bottom line is set reward when you know how much weight he needs to lose and over what period of time. Actually set rewards for him. So when he loses a pound or two, he gets to have a reward. Maybe it's a comic, maybe it's a trip out somewhere. Whatever works for you, but something that's achievable, so he doesn't he never makes the target. But have a word with your doctor, sign up to Change for Life. I think that will really get you and him on the right track.
Sounds like a plan, Rob.
I think so.
Thank you so much. And we'll see you again next week.
Yes, you will, yeah.
Thank you. Okay, everybody, so now it's time for my final thought of the day. Thank you very much to all my guests on today's programme. So my final thought of the day is to do with the subject we were speaking about earlier, which is actually going through hardships. Now, we all go through difficult times. Sometimes things unexpected happen and we have no control over them. And to be honest, we can't really do anything about those situations apart from survive and get through them and then learn whatever we can from them. And then there are other things that kind of we might cause ourselves, and this is what I want to focus on today. So for example, let's take relationships. Maybe the reason for certain arguments that you may be having with, say, a partner or a family member is because there's something that you need to address within yourself. So for example, when I was depressed, I have spoken about this briefly on the show before, but when I was depressed, I clung on to my boyfriend for dear life because he used to make me feel a bit better. When I was with him, I would kind of feel a bit happy. And for me, that was the only kind of normality I had in my life at the time, because it's like everything else was so depressing. I felt down all the time. So now I have a boyfriend that, as soon as I'm with him, he makes me feel a bit better than what I normally feel. So I clung to him and he became like my kind of refuge. And to be honest, that is not healthy, because it was kind of like I was depending on him to find happiness. And that's too much pressure on any human being. So what did that cause in the relationship? Yes, I loved him, but it caused a lot of arguments because I was afraid of losing him. Because I was afraid of losing him, I was very clingy, I was very jealous, I would kind of feel threatened by other women, and it caused so many arguments. If you imagine, like, if he just looked in the direction of another girl, it was enough to send me into a rage. And that also brought out other negative things in me, like, outbursts of anger. There was times when I was violent towards him. So it was a problem, and it was a problem that was coming from me. It wasn't something that was coming from the outside, and something that I had no control of. But the funny thing is, I'll say something. In essence, I could actually control my outbursts of anger, because when I was at work, I wouldn't react the same way. I managed to kind of hold it together at work. When I was with him, I would let loose. So the problem was coming from me. So when I got help and when I got through the issues, because he wasn't my world anymore, because I'd found my own confidence, my own self-love and everything like that, that automatically mended the relationship. Of course, we had to work on other things, but the main issue in the relationship was solved because I wasn't that clingy, needy girlfriend anymore that was jealous and everything. I was confident about myself. So it had that effect on a positive effect on the relationship. So with some things, you have to see, okay, you're going through this hardship. Why are you going through this hardship? Is it something from the outside, that something's happened? It's other people that have maybe caused something, or a situation, natural disaster sometimes can cause hardships, of course. Is it something on the outside that you can't help? Or is it something that's coming from you? Is it something that you are causing, maybe because of something that you've been through, maybe a way that you've been thinking, the way that you've been brought up, that's not a right way of thinking. We really have to be careful, because sometimes we can think, oh, you know, it's the problem, it's not my problem, this has happened to me, it's everyone else's fault, and you know, I'm fine, I don't need to change anything. We can't have that attitude. We always have to think. So whenever you go through an issue, whenever you go through a problem or hardship, take some time to think. Don't automatically assume it's someone else's fault. What's your part? Even if it is someone causing something, but what's your part in what's going wrong? What are you doing that could be making things worse? And as soon as you kind of like swallow the pride, I would say, because it's difficult to look at our own mistakes. Once you swallow that pride and you start thinking and you start kind of analyzing things, you could see that you could actually change a whole situation around just by changing your actions and the way you think. So everyone, I hope that's helped you in some way, and we have reached the end of today's program. But if you have a story that you would like to share, please do get in touch with us by emailing us on info@chrissybshow.tv. You can also tweet or Instagram us @ChrissyBShow, or leave a message on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. If you'd like more information about this program, you can visit our website, which is chrissybshow.tv. And if you'd like to know more about my mental health journey, visit my personal website, which is mylifeafterdepression.com. Until next time, bye for now.